All right, let's talk about it. You've got that 2-year conditional green card, and you are so close to the finish line. This explainer is all about that final, crucial step, turning your temporary card into a permanent 10-year green card. We're going to break down Form I-751 and exactly what you need to do. So you look at your green card and you see that expiration date creeping closer. I know it can feel a little daunting, maybe even stressful, but don't worry. What comes next is a very clear process. It's called removal of conditions, and we're going to walk through it together step by step. First things first, let's quickly touch on why you have a conditional green card in the first place. This isn't some kind of problem or a bad sign, not at all. It's actually a standard part of the process for many marriage-based green cards. Think of it as a built-in security check. Being a conditional permanent resident means you have a 2-year trial period, essentially. During this time, your job is to prove to the U.S. government that your marriage is bona fide. Now, that's just a legal term that means your marriage is the real deal. You entered into it in good faith, not just to get a green card. The entire I-751 process really boils down to proving that one simple thing. Okay, now for what is, without a doubt, the most critical, time-sensitive piece of this entire puzzle. When it comes to filing this petition, timing isn't just important, it's literally everything. I want you to burn this number into your memory, 90. You have a 90-day window to file your petition, and that window opens up right before your card expires. If you file even a single day too early, it's getting rejected. And filing late, that can cause some serious headaches. Let me just lay it out really clearly. Try to file before that 90-day mark, USCIS will send it right back to you. File after your card has already expired? Well, now you're late, and that could put your status at risk. So that 90-day window, it's not a suggestion. It is your one and only target. And now for some really, really good news. This should help you breathe a sigh of relief. The moment you file your Form I-751 correctly, USCIS automatically extends your status for 48 months. That's 4 full years. The receipt notice they mail you becomes your proof, allowing you to keep working and traveling without any issues. All right, so we've covered when to file. Now let's get into how you file. There are basically 2 main paths you can take, and your choice depends completely on what's going on in your marriage right now. The most common path, by far, is the joint filing. This is for couples who are still married and living together. You and your spouse simply sign and submit the petition as a team. But, life happens. If you're no longer with your spouse, maybe they passed away, you got divorced, or in some sad cases there was abuse, you can file for a waiver and do it on your own. Just a heads up, waiver cases can get complicated, so it's a really good idea to get some legal advice. Now we're getting to the absolute heart of your application, the evidence. This is where you get to build your case and really show USCIS a clear picture of your life together, proving your marriage is, or was, genuine. Here's the bottom line. USCIS needs to see objective proof on paper. They want to see that you've mixed your lives together financially and socially, just like any other married couple would. It's all about showing them, not just telling them. So what's the strongest kind of evidence? Anything that shows shared financial and legal ties. We're talking joint tax returns, joint bank accounts, a lease or mortgage with both of your names on it. Then you back that up with other things. Birth certificates for any children you have together, photos from recent trips, maybe even letters from friends who can vouch for you. It's also really important to know the difference between strong and weak evidence. A few photos or some birthday cards from family, that's nice, but by themselves, they don't prove much. The real magic happens when you combine that stuff with the heavy hitters, like your joint tax returns. Together, they tell a much more complete and believable story. Okay, you know the when, you know the what. So let's talk about the how. Here is your action plan, the actual steps you need to take to get your package filed. The form you're going to be using is Form I-751. Now, as of early 2026, the filing fee is about $750 plus an $85 fee for biometrics. But, and please, this is super important, fees change and forms get updated. You absolutely must check the official USCIS website for the most current info before you mail anything. The process itself is pretty straightforward. You gather all your evidence, you fill out the I-751, and you file it. Then you wait for that super important receipt notice. That's your 48-month extension. After that, you'll get an appointment for biometrics, fingerprints and a photo. There's a chance you'll have an interview, and then the final decision, and your 10-year green card in the mail. I do have to give you a quick heads up on patience, though. This is not a quick process. We're talking typical processing times of anywhere from 21 to 32 months. Yeah, it's a long time, and that's exactly why that 48-month extension is such a big deal. You can always check the USCIS website for the latest estimates. So, what happens once you've crossed that finish line and your petition gets approved? Well, that's it. You are officially a lawful permanent resident. No more conditions, no more strings attached. And that approval puts you squarely on the path to U.S. citizenship. What's cool is the timeline might be shorter than you think. If you're still married to that same U.S. citizen, you could be eligible to apply for naturalization just 3 years from the day you first got your conditional card. For everyone else, it's the standard 5 years. Before we finish up, let's just quickly run through the biggest mistakes you want to avoid. Filing at the wrong time? That's a big one. Sending in a weak pile of evidence is another. Oh, and please, always keep your address updated with USCIS. These little things can cause major delays, so just be super careful. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. When you gather all your documents and you lay them out on the table, do they tell a clear, compelling story about your shared life? If the answer is a confident yes, then you're in fantastic shape. And finally, for the most accurate, up-to-the-minute information, please always go straight to the source. Here are the official USCIS links you'll need. And of course, just a reminder that this is for informational purposes. If your case is complex at all, especially if you're filing a waiver, you should really think about talking to a good immigration attorney.